Okay, I have a question for you. What do Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Eric Garner, Tamir Rice, Freddie Gray, Rashida McBride, Aliana Jones, Seika Gunn, and now Sandra Bland all have in common? They're all young, African American, and killed with respect to a relationship with law enforcement, or in the case of Trayvon Martin, a person who was trying to pretend, George Zimmerman, that he was a law enforcement officer. All of this has happened not within the last 20 years, or the last 10 years, or within the last 8 years, or 7 years, or even the last 5 years. But try the last 3. And there are other incidents that we don't know about because they didn't reach the level of scrutiny because maybe someone didn't have a smartphone activated, or someone didn't send out the right tweet at the appropriate time. And yes, I'm pointing to the impact of social media. YouTube was established in 2005, Facebook in 2007, but mainstream use of these devices didn't happen until arguably around 2010. And now we're beginning to see society as it really is, and arguably has been for a long, long time. We have to, as a country, and I say this to people listening who are not just black, but Asian, white as well, and I say this to people who know this already, and in some cases have already marched, like, for example, the white folks who marched in Oakland because they said that white people have to get up and do something to stop this, and they're absolutely right, and that march was brilliant. We have to be vigilant in pointing out these injustices, but not just those directly, but the underpinnings of the thinking that says, for example, we're going to have rules, and we're going to apply those rules only to blacks and not whites. For example, in the case of Oakland, where a developer tried to build a high-rise, black developer, but suddenly was faced with rules that were applied to that person, but not the white counterpart. For example, one publication looked at what Michael Johnson, the developer, who he gave money to politically, but that same publication never applied the same scrutiny to any white developer. Just as an example, you would say, what does that have to do with these killings? Everything. Because it sets the image tone by which we view blacks, by which other blacks view blacks, and whites and everyone else. We have to set upon ourselves a path of the wholesale reconstruction of society, top to bottom, where we stop these images where blacks always come out at the bottom, and where rules are not uniformly applied, they're applied by race.